Hello and welcome once again, my beautiful Origin Trail node runners and Trini Zone supporters. Today we're just going to be taking a deep dive into the Origin Trail, as you can see, the Houston Command Center for node runners. So this is really going to be the area where you're going to spend quite a bit of your time as it relates to managing the stake and such on your nodes, as well as managing the wallets that govern your nodes. So pretty much there are two ways right now you can interact with this Houston application, and that is using the hosted website. Basically, this is hosted by the Origin Trail team. You can easily go to houston.origintrail.io. It's on the official domain, or you can run it locally. So today I'll be showing you how to interact with it online, and then I'll also show you how to run the local installation. So we're just going to first, of course, go to Houston or origintrail.io, and you'll see this blank page here, and this is pretty much where you select which network you'd like to interact with. Today we'll be interacting with the mainnet, considering we're doing pretty much like a mainnet series right now, and we're going to connect our administrative wallet. So this is what we call the management wallet. So yeah, let's go ahead and connect this right now. My management wallet is already connected. So what I'm going to do right now is just pull up my operational wallet because I can't remember it off the top of my head. All right, so I've put my operational wallet address in there, and I've got my admin wallet connected. So now I'm going to say connect via Houston. So all right, it pulls me right in here. I see my wallet to the top right. I'm going to blur that out, of course, because I don't really want you guys to have all of that sexy information. But what we do see here is a 50,000 TRAC stake on this particular node. And we have yet to really get more information as it relates to delegation, and slashing is not yet active on the network. So pretty much right now you're playing in the network and you're just having a good time on the mainnet. You're still securing and validating real assets on the Origin Trail decentralized knowledge graph, but there's no really negative consequence right now. So it's really the best time to hop into the network and just enjoy the benefits of being an early adopter. So this is just our overview page. As we know, I think the team, when the team did launch the V6 network, they mentioned they were going to put out like 40,000 assets just to start out. So as you can see, we've already doubled that amount of assets on the DKG stake, and we see a total amount of TRAC stake here. And here we have our service tokenomics page. Now, this is really where you're going to be managing the ask for your node. So this determines how much TRAC you want. So if we head back over to the Origin Trail documentation here, as you can see, it says under the service tokenomics section, you're able to manage your TRAC stake setting on the node. Ask parameter, which will determine the preferred amount of TRAC your node is asking for its service in the network. You can add and withdraw TRAC stake. Note that both operations require executing 2 transactions. So as was explained, this is pretty much how much you're going to be asking for your services. So as you can see here, I also have a total stake of 50,000 TRAC is my current active stake. So, but you see 50,090. Well, what's happening here is I first uploaded 90 TRAC just to test to see if my wallets were working. And then I uploaded my 50,000 TRAC stake to become active, an active participant or supporter of the decentralized knowledge graph, and facilitating publishing over the graph. So what I did was I then withdrew 90, the additional 90 TRAC, which is now sitting here pending withdrawal. So I could go ahead here and continue the withdrawal process, but I do not necessarily want to do that, nor do I really care to do that. And if I have more TRAC in my wallet, which I do, I can actually go ahead and upload some more TRAC. So what we can do, let's actually just put 100 more TRAC. Let's add 100 TRAC to this stake just so you can see the process of hitting 2 transactions. So it's asking for me to add the stake from MetaMask. I'm going to have to approve it. All right, so this is the first transaction in the process, and as it says, we're going to have to do 2. So after this one is done here, another window is going to pop up, and we're going to approve that as well. Try not to mess with the gas settings, because for some reason, I'm not totally sure what's going on, but when you interact with the gas settings, it literally says you cannot pay for the transaction at all. I think there's still refinement being done. Again, I'm not totally sure on why it is or isn't so, but again, just be mindful of that when you're interacting with it. All right, so we see over to the right that the transaction has actually completed. And now what we're going to do is complete again the second transaction here. Confirm that, and we're going to wait for that to complete. Now, once this has been completed, we should see our stake update by 100 TRAC. All right, so our second transaction has been completed, and as you can see now, our active stake has updated by an additional 100 TRAC. So I can go ahead right here and proceed to withdraw that 100 TRAC, and then you will see the 100 TRAC enter the state that's similar to the 90 TRAC. So let's go ahead and do that right now, actually, as an example. Why not? Since we're here, we might as well do the whole shebang. All right, here's our second prompt. And we're requesting a stake withdrawal. So what we're expecting to see here is this TRAC should go down back to our 50,000 staked TRAC, but we're also going to see the 190 TRAC added to our pending withdrawal section. Well, we will see 100 TRAC added to the 90 TRAC in our pending withdrawal area. All right, so as you can see, our stake has successfully updated. We're back to our 50,000 current active stake on our active node right here, and we now see the 190 TRAC in our pending withdrawal area. So it's not completely withdrawn, but it's pending withdrawal. So after this estimated time, what I can do here is go ahead and complete the process by initiating the second step here, and then I'll be able to withdraw the rest of the TRAC. So pretty much we're interacting with our node command center via the hosted service. So now let's go into our node wallet area, and this is really where you're going to be able to add different administrative keys for, let's say for some reason you have a wallet that's been compromised, or you think you may have a wallet that's been compromised, or you want to add an additional wallet so that you can move somewhere and still use your node just for a particular short space of time, or lots of different reasons for why you may want to add or remove wallets. Or for example, right now, most of us are using hot wallets on the network to manage our nodes. Well, you may want to have a ledger become your management wallet once that has been supported by the Origin Trail parachain. So this is where you're going to find the usefulness of this node wallet section here. You can add these different wallets and these different keys, and you can also remove wallets as well. So guys, pleased to say we've covered the entire overview of the Node Command Center. So now let's go ahead with the steps of getting this running on your local system. All right, so as you can see right here, I've already gone ahead and set up a folder on my desktop called Houston Node Command Center, just for the purposes of this tutorial. And what we're going to do right now is pretty much download the Houston application to our local system, and then we're just going to run the application to see the very same Houston interface that we saw before. So as the instruction says right here, to set up Houston locally, you're going to need Node version, at least version 16. So we could check the version of Node in our system. So we can do Node V right down here. And by the way, this I am using a Visual Studio Code. So you can use Visual Studio Code and then open file and then run a new terminal, and it'll open up an interface which you can use like this. As you can see, I did Node V and I am using a version 16 higher. If you do not have this installed, feel free to go to nodejs.org and download the latest version of Node, run the installation, and it should install Node for you as well as NPM. So now let's head back to the origin trail documentation, and we're going to actually copy the first command, and we're going to paste this over here. And well, actually, before we run that command, I just want to show you right here in my Explorer that I have no documents here. So I have no folders. It's a completely empty folder. So we're just going to run this command right here. And now we see our Houston v6 folder show up. We are not done yet. We still have to enter this actual folder. So let's change our directories. All right, and now let's check to see where we are. So we're inside the Houston v6 folder, as we can see here as well. So now we're going to run, well, actually we've already changed into the Houston directory. So in fact, if you, instead of doing what I did, you could just copy this entire command and run it as is. Or now, once you're inside here, you put npm install. And what we're pretty much going to do is build all the packages and download all of the dependencies for Houston itself. So as you can see, we should see a node modules folder come here as well. All right, and here's our node modules folder. So this is all of the dependencies used to create this application. It's being downloaded right now. And also, I should let you know that it is a Vue application. So we're running a local server and we're going to be serving this website to ourselves. So here we have the command, the final command here to run the actual Houston application. Once you're inside the Houston v6 folder, run npm run serve, and here we go. The Vue boilerplate is kicking up, and we are starting our server right now. All right, so if we head to this particular link, we should have access to our Houston application. As you can see, I am on the local host and I have the very same Houston interface. So now I'm just going to sign in and show you that the functionality is actually still the same. All right, I've entered my information and now we're going to hit connect via Houston. And we're back in, but this time we're running from our local installation and we're no longer using the Origin Trail hosted application. This offers some various benefits. For example, increased security, as in you're not using or communicating over the web. So if you guys have any more questions or concerns about the Origin Trail Node Command Center, feel free to hop in the Discord and of course check out the Origin Trail documentation first and foremost. If you guys appreciate these sorts of tutorials, feel free to let me know, and of course hit the like, share and subscribe for more content. Guys, I love you. I'm excited to see what we're going to be building in the future.